and the history of comic book storytelling, few characters exemplify editorial betrayal and psychological dismemberment quite like Madelyne Pryor. Introduced in 1983 as a seemingly ordinary woman bearing an uncanny resemblance to the recently deceased Jean Grey, Madelyne was never supposed to be a supervillain, a clone, or a footnote in another woman's resurrection. She was created by Chris Claremont and Paul Smith to give Cyclops, the longtime leader of the X-Men, a graceful exit and a semblance of peace. But what began as a tender narrative epilogue was soon consumed by the industry's insatiable appetite for nostalgia, retcon, and spectacle. In the process, Madelyne Pryor was transformed from a grounding romantic partner into a hypersexualized demon queen. She was not given an arc, she was given a detonation. To understand the cruelty of Madelyne's arc is to understand the structural limitations that women in serialized media face. Madelyne entered the story not as a warrior or a mutant, but as a woman, a pilot, competent and independent, whose only crime was resembling a dead icon. She falls in love with Scott Summers, marries him, and bears his child. For a brief time, she is a lighthouse in the fog of superhero melodrama. But when Marvel Editorial decided to resurrect Jean Grey in 1986 to reunite the original X-Men for the new series X Factor, Madelyne's narrative purpose evaporated overnight. Cyclops leaves her and their newborn son with barely a thought. Her trauma is not addressed. Her abandonment is not condemned. Instead, she is rewritten as the problem. What followed was a character assassination disguised as plot development. Madelyne, now discarded and grieving, was retconned as a clone created by the villain, Mr. Sinister. Her breakdown was staged not as a human reaction to abandonment, but as a demonic possession. She became the Goblin Queen in 1989's Inferno crossover, a hypersexualized villain draped in fetish wear and drenched in archetypal sin. She attempts to murder her own son. Her body becomes a battleground. Her rage, though justified, is aestheticized and eroticized. And when she dies, it is not with dignity, but with self-erasure. Her last words are that she was never real. The symbolic violence of this arc cannot be overstated. Madelyne is not merely killed, she is unwritten. She is labeled a fake, a copy, a mistake that needed to be deleted so the real woman, Jean Grey, could return. In doing so, Marvel reinforced a devastating message. A woman who was created to heal a man can be discarded when her utility expires. Her rage, when it emerges, is proof of her instability. Her sexuality is not power, but punishment. Her identity is not valid, but derivative. In the end, Madelyne Pryor is not remembered for who she was, but for what she became. Not a woman, but a warning. And yet, she endures. In fan memory, in retrospective critique, in the haunting image of a woman screaming beneath the weight of someone else's legacy. Madelyne Pryor may have died unloved by her creators, but her story remains a masterclass in how fiction reveals the quiet violence of forgetting a woman once she is no longer useful.